Welcome. I know it's Tuesday. Not Friday. All right. All right. TikTok's up. What's up, everybody? So, for those of you who are new here, my name is Markia. I'm known on social media as the Money Plug. I am a certified financial education instructor and a board certified credit repair specialist and credit score consultant. And I use my platform to teach you guys everything you need to know to not only better manage your debt and your credit, but your finances overall, right? So it's going to be a pretty quick live today because I'm super duper tired, but pat me on the back. I gave my presentation today. Instagram didn't get it yesterday, but thank you to everybody on Facebook and on TikTok who watched the stream, gave me good feedback, kind of was engaging with me, and who really, and especially the people who emailed me after to give me kind of more in-depth feedback. Because of you guys, I got a glowing review from the company. Everybody loved it. I got so many people emailing me and like DMing me and connecting with me on LinkedIn. So thank you to everybody who helped me out with that yesterday. Y'all the real MVPs for that one, because y'all came through in the clutch when I was tweaking my slides last night. Today we're gonna be talking about evictions. Only because that somebody just literally just asked me about evictions, and I realized that I haven't done another video like this in a while. So I figured we would do a live. Maybe I would do a post. What's up, Arkim? Hey. Okay, everybody's up and running. Okay, yeah, y'all can see me now. Okay, good. So, first of all, how does an eviction affect your credit? For most people, it's not the eviction that hurts your credit, it's the owed balance, if that makes sense. For a lot of you, maybe you moved out of an apartment, so you weren't evicted, but you had a balance, right? No, for real, our FinCon crew is here. But like you might have moved out of an apartment building and had a balance on that apartment. So it's not that you were evicted, but you did owe them money and you never paid it. And that is what's holding you back financially. And it's also something they can see in your tenant screening report. So I guess that's to clarify. So when I'm talking about how to remove evictions, it's not just like official evictions. It's for everyone who potentially owed money at some point to a previous residence and still owe that money, if you want me to be honest, or owed the money enough that they started reporting to the credit bureaus and to the tenant screening reports, which are all consumer reporting agencies. You're going to hear me say that. Those are all consumer reporting agencies. No, for real. FinCon 22. So this goes for the same thing for my eviction is on my credit, but I'm getting denied. The reason why a lot of you are being denied, even though you don't necessarily see the eviction on your big three credit report, so the report that you get from Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, it's because even though it's not on your main credit report, it's also inside of your tenant screening report. And for a lot of you, if you have gone through the eviction process, you do realize that that's public information. Like people could literally, I don't know what y'all call it in other states, but in Maryland, we have something known as Maryland case search. And if anybody types your name in and searches you, they can see that you went to rent court. So that's also something that you want to keep in mind for those of you who are trying to rebound from an eviction or being sued from a previous landlord. These are things that they check. They check these case searches to see if you've ever been to court, even if it's not reporting on your tenant screening, because they want to make sure they're getting their money, especially post-COVID. So let's talk about handling the debt that you have with a previous landlord and how to, I guess, essentially remove it from your credit report or your tenant screening report. Now, unfortunately, if you went through the entire eviction process and you went to court, I can't remove stuff out the public domain. Hiring a credit repair specialist is not going to do anything for you because, like I said, they can still check public records to see that you've been to court with a previous landlord and they sued you for whatever it is they're saying that you owe. So that's also a heads up that I want to give you guys. Now, if you do have a balance that is still owed to the company, the first step is going to be you need to get that balance down to zero. You have to settle that debt, whether it's negotiating the removal of the account from both your credit report and your tenant screening report, which is commonly referred to, if it's a regular collection, we would call this the pay to delete, right? The only thing is technically it's not like other accounts in eviction. So if it's reporting on your big three credit report, they are the data furnisher. They can choose not to report it. If they say, listen, if you go to them and you say, hey, Y'all saying I owe you $2,200. I will give you this $2,200, but you got to erase the reporting from my credit report, take it off of my tenant screening report, and give me something saying that I don't owe you anything else, like the debt is paid. And a lot of times that'll be enough for the next apartment building or whatever that you're trying to get into. They'll take that, even if it hasn't reflected on your credit just yet. They'll take a letter from the company saying that they are going to do these things and that you have paid them off. Now, a lot of times, the reason why you don't see them reporting to the big three is, one, people have to pay for it. And two, it's not necessary because they know that they can hold you back just by reporting to your tenant screening report by itself. So it's also something that you want to take into account. Just because it's not on your main credit report doesn't mean that it doesn't exist or that you don't owe the money. It's just that this particular consumer report is not reporting it, and that's totally fine. Now, what I did was, if you looked at the description, when you clicked on my video, if you're watching me anywhere else other than like Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, you'll see that in the description, it says that if you click that link and sign up for my email list, you'll get a copy of the Consumer Reporting Agency. It's like a PDF that I got from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like and why it's important to you. Boom. So, oops, let me change my thing. Hold on, give me a second. I forgot I was sharing my screen. There we go. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is the PDF that you would be, oh, sorry, Instagram, you guys can't see it, huh? Let me turn this around for y'all. Can you see it now? Oh, there we go. Kinda. So this is the PDF that you'll get, right? This is the PDF that you'll get. This is the list of the companies that landlords use when they are running your tenant screening check, right? To see if you're going to be a good fit for them. Now, this document is completely free. If you're already signed up to receive my emails, filling that out isn't going to get it delivered to you. You can go to my online store and download this 100% for free. This is directly from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So you don't have to worry about if it's not correct information or if the numbers don't work or something like that. This is the information that they gave directly to the CFPB. And these are the companies like RentGrow, Safe Rent. If you've ever seen them on your credit and your inquiries, this is usually done when you guys are either applying for a place or if you are renewing your lease and they're checking your credit again to make sure that you're still a good fit for them, right? And so this not only gives you their website, but a phone number and an address, because per the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, or FACTA, which is inside of the FCRA, you are entitled to one free report from every single one of these companies every year. It's the same thing as if it was TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Now, even though they have been doing the COVID relief thing where you can get one a week with the main three, that doesn't apply to these. You still only get the one a year. But if you can identify any inaccuracies on this report, when you dispute, you also get a new credit report or a new tenant screening report at the conclusion of the investigation to reflect any changes that were made to your consumer report. So let's say you owed an apartment company some money. Let's say that, so let's say, I'll turn this back around actually, sorry. There we go. There we go. So let's say you were staying at this place. It was a really dope place, but they had roaches and they did not disclose that in the customer review. So now you're ready to go. And you broke your lease and you still owed them money after move out, right? And you just never paid it, completely forgot about it. You're trying to move again, right? And when they're pulling your tenant screening report, they're saying, no, it's showing here that you still owe this other residence. What you would then do first is you would contact that residence. You got two options, right, on what you want to do when you talk to them. I do not suggest doing this over the phone. I always suggest getting it in writing. Remember, anything that is in writing is considered a legally binding contract between you and that company. And that's also something that you could use in court. So keep that in mind. This is why I tell a lot of you, please stop having these phone conversations, because they can say you said whatever on the phone, but they can't prove it, right? You can't prove that they said they would handle it. You need to get this stuff in writing. So when you reach out to them, say, hey, I recently applied for a apartment or whatever, or I pulled a copy of my credit report, my tenant screening report, whatever it was you did. And I noticed that you all are reporting a balance due to a broken lease or whatever they're saying that you owe this balance for. Can you please give me all of the evidence that you have that substantiates your claim that I am the party that owes this money? That's literally all you have to say. Now, when they reach back out to you, what you should be expecting is evidence of you having lived at the property and evidence of you leaving the property. Now, this is usually in the form of a signed lease. And yes, an e-signature is good enough if it provides an IP address. Remember, your IP address is unique to you. This is the address that the internet assigns your device to get on the internet. So it can be tracked to you. So if you see e-signature and an IP address, boom, they got you, girl. They got you. Now, if they cannot provide you with a copy of your lease, this does not demonstrate that you ever actually lived in this apartment complex. If there's no correspondence between you and them previously, if they cannot provide a copy of your lease, if they cannot prove without a shadow of a doubt that you lived at this property, then you can go ahead and petition the credit bureaus to not only remove this from your previous addresses on your credit report, but you can also petition them to remove this from your tenant screening report. Now, if they do prove that it's you, like let's say that they send you a copy of your lease. I want you to go through your lease. The part that you really want to hone in on is the move out process. Now, when you're looking in the move out section, you need to be able to describe in detail what is required for you to move out legally. For example, and the reason why I tell you want to take a close look at this, because now, if a part of the move out process requires that you and the leasing office do a walkthrough of the property, investigate the property together, they notify you of any damages that you have to pay back, right? And then you sign a document. Let's say that's what the move out policy is. So then when you request all of the evidence from them and they give you a copy of your lease and they give you something saying that you moved out, they also need to include a copy of that document that you signed where you acknowledged how much money you still had to pay for you to consider that debt paid off. That document is required because it is a part of the move out process. If they do not have a copy of that document to demonstrate that the move out process was done legally, then that voids the original contract, that lease, which could lead to you being able to petition for the removal of the account because they voided the contract. Remember, your lease is a contract between you and that company. And so when they say, listen, in order to keep this contract valid, when you move out, you have to sign this saying that you acknowledge how much you owe and that you're going to pay us back, right? They can't report that you still owe that money if they don't have that agreement, right? That's what essentially that is. Now, if they don't have that kind of stipulation in your lease, you can look for any other inaccuracies, any other violations, things that you can prove without a shadow of a doubt that shows that they violated the terms of that lease, which would then terminate the lease. This would also terminate your culpability for the debt, right? You won't owe that money. And you can not only get that debt erased, but you can also get the account removed, like I said, from your previous addresses and from your tenant screening report. Now, there are some cases where these people just got their ducks in a row. Girl, they sent you the lease, the move out sheet. They got pictures. They got, like, let's just say they got you, right? What are your options? You got two, right? Your two options are going to be, you can either negotiate or just flat out pay it. And what I mean by flat out pay it, it's not like a collection, or something like that. So I don't want to necessarily say pay to delete, but that's essentially what you're doing. You would be like, listen, in exchange for, I said it backwards. So you'd say in exchange for me giving you this money or a portion of the money that you're saying that I owe you, whatever works for you, you're going to stop reporting this. Right? It's going to be as if this never happened. And so it's going to be removed from your consumer report, which is your credit report, and then your tenant screening report, but only after you pay. Now, again, you need to get this in writing because they can say whatever they want over the phone, but things like this go to court. You can sue over shit like this. So if you get it in writing that they say they're going to remove this account after you pay and they don't remove the account, then you can take them to court off of the communications that you have alone because they agreed to it. Any employee of these companies are considered authorized representative. And so if you are an authorized representative of a company, any agreements that you make on behalf of that company are valid. They stand up in court. So, this is another reason why I'm really big on sending these letters or sending an email, but stop talking to people on the phone. Now, let's say they're not willing to remove, but they are willing to settle with you. That is always an option. Settle with these people. No lender cares how you get to $0 owed on this account. Okay. No lender gives a fuck as long as you get the balance down to zero. So if you owe these people $2,200 and they say, hey, bro, listen, you give me a stack and we'll call it even. Give them a stack and we'll call it even. Okay. Will this prevent you from being able to move in certain places? Yeah. unfortunately, because like they said, they're not willing to remove it from tenant screening services. And especially post-COVID, some landlords just don't want to deal with people and they're not 1,000% sure you're going to give them their money. That's fine. You guys need to start being a little bit more realistic. You cannot have a credit score of 420 and think you're about to live in luxury apartments and things like that just because you want to. That's not how it works. You guys have to put the work in to improve your credit score. Something else that I want to address is the popularity, especially in Atlanta, of using CPNs to rent apartments and homes and things like that. One, it's fraud, period. Like, there's no way around that. There's no loophole for that. I apologize if I hurt your feelings, but using a CPN to rent any kind of residence is illegal. One, because the use of these CPNs are to conceal your actual credit history. So using a CPN is you hiding your consumer history in order to, I guess you could say, defraud the company that you're trying to work with and get them to work with you. Because you know that if you used your regular social security number, you would not qualify for these things. That is where the fraud comes in, right? The purposeful act of concealing your consumer identity and using these numbers, right, in order to rent or, buy a car or get a credit card, that is illegal as fuck. A lot of times these numbers that you guys are purchasing also are social security numbers from kids, deceased elderly people, things like that. So you also are kind of delving into identity theft. Please, please, please stop it. What you fail to realize is that if you get caught, that is Fed time. So not only are you about to lose this apartment that you needed so flipping bad, but you're going to jail. You are going to jail, especially if you look like this. You are definitely going to jail. There's no other way for me to say that to you. Please stop. There are ways that you can boost your credit score and that you can improve your credit worthiness. But a lot of you are waiting either until the last minute to do it, or you kind of avoided talking about finances and credit until, it was an issue and things like that. We have to start accepting responsibility for the current state of our finances and then doing what it takes, whatever it takes to get past it. Y'all say that whatever it takes real soft. Y'all don't mean it. You're not saying it with your chest. Y'all always come, especially to me, I operate a credit repair company. Y'all come to me and you say, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And then you're not willing to do whatever it takes. It's like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm not doing that shit. That's not how that works. You either want a better life or you want to go to jail at this point, because that's really where y'all at with it. Like, these CPNs are getting crazy. And then there's people who are legit advertising on Instagram and Facebook and all these other places on CPN masterclasses. Here's my ebook. Take my course on how to use a CPN and build credit. All of those people are committing a felony, right? All of those people are committing a felony. But the only reason they're getting away with it is because you all are not reporting them. Y'all scroll through, or y'all use the service, or y'all suggest y'all friends use the service. It don't work out for them. And then y'all blast them on social media, but you're not telling the authorities. You're not telling the proper people. And so these people will live on to see another day and will continue to scam the fuck out of other people that they meet. Has CPNs worked for people and they've been able to get shit with it? Of course. Whenever there's a scam or something going on, of course, there's going to be people who get away with it. You don't want to be that one that gets caught. You do not want to be the one that gets caught. Now, let's talk about some legal ways, right, to boost your credit score so that you can qualify for these apartments, these homes, whatever it is that you guys are applying for that you feel the need to use a CPN for. Number one, the first thing you're going to have to do is identify why is your credit score low. It's not like that for no reason. You have to identify what is causing me to lose these points. Do I have bad credit or do I have young credit? That's also a question you need to ask yourself. I did a video on this and I talked about how sometimes we see a low score and we instantly assume that we have bad credit. And a lot of times that's not what the problem is. The problem is you just don't have enough credit. You don't have old enough credit. Time is an important factor when it comes to how your credit score is calculated that a lot of you conveniently forget in your quest to be millionaires or your quest to be financially stable or to be financially free or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. A lot of you don't factor in the fact that it takes time. You think that this stuff is supposed to happen overnight, and that's not how it works. You need at least 1.5, at the minimum, 1.5 years worth of positive credit history in order to have what is considered good credit. And you're also going to need more than one account. The average good credit profile has at least 3 credit cards, 1 short-term loan, and 1 long-term loan reporting at all times. So if you don't have at least that, you could be shortchanging yourself. You leaving points on the table. You walking away from a good hand. So let's say you do have the right amount of accounts, but you are just losing points every month. Don't understand. The first thing you're going to have to do is pull a copy of your credit report. You need to pull a copy of your credit report. If you go to www.annualcreditreport.com, you can get 1 free copy of your credit report every week until December 2023. Period. No caveats, no nothing. Every week you get 1 free credit report from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. You are going to pull all 3 of these reports, and you are going to look at these credit reports, and you are going to identify every piece of derogatory information that you can. Late payments, charged off accounts, credit cards with high balances, missed payments. I might have already said that. You want to look for collections, anything in public records, judgments. If you have a whole bunch of addresses, a bunch of different names, you want to highlight. Listen, I don't care if the paper look yellow by the time you're done. I want you to highlight every single negative item that you see on that. Oh, shit. That you see on that credit report. Oh, Jesus. I don't know how that just flew like that. That was funny as hell. You want to highlight every single piece of information on that credit report that is derogatory. Then you're going to tackle it one by one. I know a lot of people be like, send a 611 letter, send a 609 letter. But in all actuality, a lot of you are sending these letters and you really don't understand why. You just know that, hey, such and such says send it in this order, and that's why I'm doing it. That is the wrong way to go about it. If you don't know how to dispute, you don't know why you're disputing it, and you don't know why you're doing it in a specific way, you are not benefiting from this at all. Because let's say you send a 609 or 611 or whatever you want to call it, and then they come back and say, we're not changing it. Then what? You don't even know what you really sent in order to understand why it didn't work out for your situation. I keep telling y'all that personal finance, there's no blanket way to handle anything regarding personal finance. That goes for your credit, that goes for budgeting, that goes for saving. None, like what works for me is not going to work for you, because my credit profile, my financial history, the financial trauma that I've been through, and my mindset do not match yours. So the solution for my problems are not going to be the solution for your problems. You need to start taking a more customized approach to your dispute process, because that is why you are not getting results. Even if you are using templates, I sell templates. Even if you are using templates, you tweak those templates. You include personal details about your account. And most importantly, you only send the dispute that ties to your particular situation. What's up? I forget. It's only like 5 people that call me Kia, so that's so funny. What's up, Rogers? But like you don't need to be sending a goodwill letter if you're not disputing, if you're not trying to ask them for forgiveness for a late payment, if you've never had issues with a late payment with this account. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why it's important for you guys to understand what's going on behind these letters. It's not enough to just be like, well, she said send it this. Because everybody's situation is different. The only way to do that, you guys, is to actually start doing the work. You guys have to start doing the research. That means ordering a copy of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it's completely free. I'm pretty sure you can Google it. You can get it from the FTC or the Federal Trade Commission. You can get it from their website. You can even bulk order it. Whenever I go to pop-ups, I always take copies of these to pass out to people. But you guys need to start reading books, or listening to podcasts, or downloading PDFs or something. But you guys have to start putting the work in to understand your finances, because no matter how much money you throw at people, if you are not understanding of your finances and what is going on with your unique situation, you will always end up back in this spot. Hey. I mean, I'm just giving it to you raw. You can write all the goals you want. You can say all the affirmations. You can manifest and all that stuff. But if you are not changing the behaviors that led to the outcomes that got you where you are currently, right? You're not gonna go anywhere. That's why you guys are reading the Dave Ramsey books, the Suze Orman books. Y'all reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and you're still ending up in the same situation. It's because you are not changing the behaviors that led to the outcomes that got you into the situation. You guys are throwing money at people like me, begging me to fix your credit, and then you're still making the same decisions that led to the poor credit in the first place. You're making these budgets and you do these cute little templates and stuff like that, and then you're not sticking to the budget and wondering why it's not working. It's time for you all to start taking accountability for your part in the situation you find yourself in. Because yes, you play a part. You might not hold all of the responsibility, but you hold a piece of it for why you are where you are and why you continue to be where you are. I'm gonna get on my soapbox. I'm gonna get on my soapbox. Now, one of the most important parts of managing your credit is managing your finances altogether. How much money do you have coming in every month? How much money do you have leaving out every month? Because this is going to determine how much money you have available to pay potential debt or to pay debt, period. If you are in need of a customized action plan and budget plan, you got some options, right? If you go to physical.com/the-money-plug, it's going to ask you some questions, takes about 10 minutes, and it'll even ask you about your goals. It will spit out a customized action and budget plan. You'll get like a little taste of one, right? And then if you submit it and you sit down they give you like a link to get like a 15-minute free consultation about your budget. I'll send you a complete, like I'm talking total budget. I'm talking it's calculating your taxes for you. It talks about all the savings plans and stuff that you guys got in mind, like all of that. I'll send you all of that. All you got to do is go to that website and fill all stuff out. That's literally it. And it's literally, you can keep going back to the website and filling out the information, because obviously your budget is going to change. A budget is not stagnant. It's not a tree. It can move, right? So with a budget, you want to be constantly reviewing your budget, because there are some expenses, which are called variable expenses, that change every month, right? Like your gas, electric, your water, how much gas you've been using in your car. All of these things vary depending on usage, inflation, things like that. So you should always be reviewing your budget. But if you are not managing your cash flow properly, you are not going to be able to manage your debt and the things that affect your credit properly. That is something really, really important that I need you guys to understand. How long have I been live? Ooh, I'm doing good, because I said I was not going to be on here all night. So what questions do you guys got for me? It doesn't have to just be about evictions. It can be about anything having to do with personal credit. We do still have some time left, so I can answer all you guys' questions, concerns, comments. You got a myth you want me to dispel right quick? What y'all got for me? Oh, and if you want me to come speak to your school, your organization, your church, I love coming to speak to churches because y'all got the best food. But if you want me to come speak to you guys, all you got to do is shoot me an email at markiab@themoneyplug.co. But what questions do you guys got for me? Going once, going twice, because y'all know I will get the hell off of here. I've had a really long day. Nothing at all. I have an eviction. It's been 7 years. Should I still pay it? So after 7 years, that stuff comes off of your consumer report. So no, you don't have to. However, right? Like I said, that information is still technically public record. So they can still pull it up and see that, these people are saying that you owe them. And they can easily reach out and be like, did they pay you? No. Oh, no, she can't come stay here. Because there's consequences to every action. So no, you don't have to, but it's personal preference on if you should. It's all about what your goals are. Let's say you want to go back to this company. You can't go back to that company if you don't pay that debt off. They are not going to let you move back in there. Can you really get rid of evictions and repos off your credit? Yes, it's not as easy as a lot of these content creators love to make it seem, but yes, it is possible in some cases. This is what I mean when I say that everybody's situation is different. So it would depend on the circumstances surrounding your situation. For example, there are some people whose vehicles were illegally repossessed. Every state has something known as laws, right? Every state has laws, and there are laws regarding how vehicles or any kind of personal property is supposed to be repossessed, including the fact that they have to give you certain disclosures at certain intervals, give you a time to get the car back, all of those things. If you can prove that this company violated your rights given to you by your state in the eviction process, which would then make this not eviction, repossession, making this now an illegal repossession, you could use that to not only absolve yourself of the money that they're saying that they owe you, but it could also remove the derogatory information from your credit report. And the same goes with evictions. If you can prove that it was an illegal eviction, of course it would come off, because that's an illegal reporting. It was an illegal eviction, so you cannot be penalized for the eviction. And some now, not with a repossession, but with evictions, or with like, you know how you break a lease and you still owe money. Specifically with a lot of those cases is where I see this in particular. But a lot of times if you contact them and you try to negotiate a settlement or something like that, like you're willing to give them some money, they'll say, yo, we'll stop reporting it if you give me the money. A lot of times they'll do that for you. I have proof I was paying my rent. After all these years, I kept the receipts. So if you have proof that you paid your rent and that you never missed a payment that would lead to an eviction, then you can use that to go ahead and get the eviction removed and absolve yourself of the debt that they're saying that you owe. Now, if you want to buy a house next year, that's kind of a tall order. Any open debts that you have to get those closed before you start that process. What other questions you guys got for me? These are some good ones too. What other questions you guys got for me? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Y'all like my pajamas? I gotta throw up another poll on Instagram too. Don't let me forget. I gotta throw up another poll on Instagram because I got accepted to do the trick or treat for UNICEF. So now I gotta dig through my closet and put together a Halloween costume. And I have no idea what I want to be. So I need some suggestions. I was thinking Static Shock. My husband told me stop being a stereotype because the locks. But so remind me to put that up on the Instagram. Yes, thank you, Ruthie. Tell me this has been great info. Well, I got locks too. Be Poison Ivy. I don't want to dye my hair red or put a wig on it. That's hot. I still got time to think about it, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you again, like I said, to everybody yesterday who gave me the feedback on the financial education workshop that I was working on. I gave my presentation today. It was amazing. I got so much good praise and feedback and such really good questions, like thought-provoking questions. So you guys really helped me out and it meant a lot to me. I put the budget spreadsheet that I was telling you guys about yesterday. I put that in the Facebook group. So if you are active on Facebook, please just join the Facebook group at Plugged In the Credit Clubhouse. That's the name of the Facebook group. If you are on any of the, if I'm looking at you when I do this, you should see it up here. All of my platforms. And if you go to TikTok or Instagram and click the link in my bio, that will take you to my landing page, which also has all the buttons to connect with me on all the platforms. But that is all that I have for you all today. Remember, if you click the link that is in the description of the video for you guys on Facebook and YouTube, you can sign up for my email list and get a completely free copy of the Consumer Reporting Agency list, which has all of the contact information for all of the tenant screening services included inside of it, so that if you are requesting copies of your tenant screening reports, you'll know how to get in contact with these people. If you are already on my email list and you would like this information, you can go to my online store and download that same exact PDF for free. All you got to do is add it to the cart and check out. It's 100% free. And it's straight from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, or the CFPB. So it's not like I made it up off the top of my head, or like the phone's disconnected or anything like crazy like that. Thank you so much. She said congratulations on an awesome educational class. Man, it was lit, for real. I think I'm gonna give the class again, obviously tweak it a little bit for you guys, but I think I'll do the class again to save on YouTube for you guys to go back and check it out. But I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for bed because I've had a really long day, as you can imagine. But y'all know what I always say, right? Live every day like it's your last, but pay your bills and wear condoms just in case it's not. And I will see all of you when I go live again tomorrow. But I'm out of here.